Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes more, right? Amar?
Yes, we'll
Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
We can start now.
Okay, Amar. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, so by the time others are joining, we will have a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So yesterday we had actually done with some searching and sorting algorithms, okay, on the arrays. And then we started with the character and the string array. Okay, so one program on the character and the string we have done, like how you will be, creating a string, what is a character array, how you will be traversing through the character array. Okay, so few examples we have done in one file, like getting the input using the fgetS, then iterating, okay, in the array, that is the character array, by using the for loop. Okay, so today we will continue with the remaining topics on the character array, that is working on the inbuilt string functions. And then we will start with another topic, that is function. Okay. Again, you can say a simple topic of functions, how to create a function, how to call the functions, how to pass the parameter to the functions, what is a recursive function. And then yesterday there was a query. I think Arpita, you want to know about what is the Armstrong number. So you have asked for the flowchart, okay, and the algorithm, okay, for the Armstrong number. So we'll be doing that as well, okay. And yesterday there was a quiz given. So if you have got any queries on the quiz, so some of you have written about the ELSIF ladder, okay, so that also we'll be discussing. And the quiz questions, because most of the questions were the output type of the questions based on your conditional constructs and the iterative constructs. Okay, so that also we'll be discussing, right? So let's begin with the session. I'm going to share the screen and let me know the screen is visible. Let me know the screen is visible to everyone. Okay, Arpita, thank you. So we had done with this bubble sort and the binary search, okay, on arrays. Then we started with the character array and strings, right? So one example, okay, what we have done is how to, declare and initialize the character array. So whenever we are having a character array or we need to initialize a string, okay, see that you are giving /0 at the end. That is a null terminator if you are individually providing the characters, okay, into the array to initialize. Else you can directly provide the string in double quotes, which is automatically going to add the /0 at the end, okay. Then we had seen one example on how to iterate into the array, okay, or how to traverse into an array, okay. So let us first continue with that, and then we'll come back to this particular functions, okay. So we have done with the string initialization. We have printed this string. Then always whenever you need to get the input, okay, from the user, then you should be making use of the fgetS. Okay, this already I have told. FgetS is nothing but it is the most efficient way to take the input because it is also going to read the space, and then you are also providing the size. Okay, so it can be more. Then iterating or traversing through the array. So we are making use of the for loop here. And the only thing is that the condition should be not equal to /0. That means it is not, till it is not reaching the last null terminator. Till then, okay, we need to read character by character. Okay. So either you display individual character or you will be, adding that into the character array and then displaying that particular word. So till here we have done. Okay, let me just run this so that we can see the output. Okay, so enter the message. Okay, so I've simply given the message as C programming. So I'm getting you entered C programming, characters in string. Okay, and then I'm getting C programming. Okay. So till here we have done. Now let us come to the string functions which are available in the string.h header file. Okay, so there is a string length. Okay, so this is nothing but it is returning the length of the string. So here if you're giving hello, it will return 5. Okay, then string copy is source to destination. Okay, so this source will be copied to the destination, like if string copy a comma b. Then string cat is nothing but it is going to append the source to the destination. Okay, concatenate, add it, and then compare. It is going to compare the strings. Okay, now comparison is something which we need to see because it is going to return 0 if equal, greater than, and less than. And now here, why this is important? Because if it is an integer, okay, it is understood that how the integers are compared, like number is greater than another number, 2 is greater than 1, okay, or 1 is less than 2. But when we are giving the characters to compare, what exactly is getting compared? Okay, it is the ASCII number which is getting compared. So every particular character, okay, on the keyboard has got the ASCII code. Okay, so when it comes to the character comparison, ASCII code is used. Okay, so let us now write a program for that. Okay, so I'm creating a new file here. So I will be writing all the 4 functions within the same file. Okay. So in this case, we need to include stdio, and we also need to include the string.h. Okay. And then I'll be creating the int main. Right. And let me select the language and we will save this file. Okay. So we are on day 7. Okay. As of now. Okay. So this is nothing but string functions. Okay. Now let us have the string return. So let us say I'm simply giving this 20. Okay, I'm going to initialize this. Let us initialize another string. Okay, 20. Let us say this is world. Then str3. Okay, this will be, let us say 50. Okay, I'm just creating a third array. Now first is str length function. Okay, now how this str length function is working? So simply you print. Okay. So I will write length of str1. Okay. Or you can say percentage %s is percentage %l. You also you can write, which is nothing but unsigned long integer. Okay. And the first is your str1 and second is the str length of str1. Okay, understand? This LU is nothing but it is the unsigned long int. Okay, right? Then second is str copy. Okay, str copy. Now how this function needs to be used? So simply you write str copy. So I want to copy in str3, which is empty. Okay, we have not given anything in the str3. What I need to copy is the string 1. Okay, and now we will print after string copy. Okay, what is str3? Okay, so str3 is %s because it is a string. Okay, so we will type str3 here. Okay, this is string copy. Then third, we have to do with the string cat, concatenating that particular string. Okay, so again, it is the same parameters this function is taking. So you simply write str cat str1 comma str2. Okay, and printf after string concat, what we are getting, str1 is %s, okay, /n, and then we will write str1. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just adding that here. Then we have got the string compare. Okay, so string compare. But for string compare, I will write some first code, okay, to make you understand that what exactly are the ASCII code. Okay, so first we are going to run this only. First, let us understand these three. Okay, then we will go with the compare. So this is nothing but string function. Okay, so I will be writing string functions.c. So it should include hash, which is not written. Okay, so let us now compile. Okay, str copy it is. Okay, so see that you are using the proper function names. Okay, so see here, we are getting the output. Okay, so first we are getting length of hello is 5. That is correct. So whatever string you are giving, it will find the length. After str copy, str3 is hello. Initially, string 3 is empty, nothing is given. So we had copied string 1 to string 3. Okay, so string 3 is hello now. And after str cat, okay, so when we are going to append, so now string 1 has become hello world because what we have used str cat, str1, str2. So this str2 is going to append to str1. So string 1 will become hello world. Okay. Now these functions are available, correct? But yes, you can also write the code without using these predefined functions. And that is where you need to apply the logic. Okay. Now, let us come to the string compare. But as I said, before you understand how the comparison is done, let us understand what are the ASCII codes from A to Z. Okay. You can find the ASCII for any other character. So I'm going to write now, till now, please understand, we had number of times use the for loop. But for loop, we have always used the integer. Okay, int I equal to 0 and I is less than some condition and then I plus plus or minus minus. Okay. Now we are going to make use of the character. So ch is equal to a. Now I'm going to start with small a. ch is less than equal to z. Okay, so from a to z and ch plus plus. Okay, why we can write? Because it is using the ASCII number. Okay, ASCII code. That is nothing but American standard code for information interchange. Correct? So what now I want to print? Now understand this. Okay. So I will be printing the percentage C, that is a character, and I simply want to print the tab. Okay, slash T means a tab, delimiter tab. Then again, I will be using percentage D slash N. Okay, please understand this. This percentage C, it will be the character, and this percentage D is also the character. Okay, is also the character. Okay, now understand this. This CH, I want to display as a character also. And this CH, I want to display as a integer also. And we are using this. Okay, similarly, you can go ahead and write this for capital A also. So let us say I also want to display the ASCII code. Okay, so this is the ASCII code for alphabets. Okay, and suppose here you are writing the capital A, because capital A will be having different ASCII code. Okay, fine. Let us see the output of these first. So here I will simply have a printf. Okay, and we will give a slash n. Okay, now let us see the output. So fine. Okay, ch is undeclared. So first let us declare this character. And I will also use this int I. Otherwise, you can write char in between only. So it will be correct. Look here. Okay, so what I am getting, if you will see the output. Okay, if you will see the output here. For A, the ASCII code is 65. Okay, B is 66. So capital A starts from 65 till 90. And small a is from 97 till 120. These are the ASCII code, and how the comparison is done based on this ASCII. Okay. Now, if you want to print, okay, the opposite of that. So let us say, okay, I'm not printing this. Okay. Let us only check for the capital. It is quite simple. Now just copy this. Okay. And instead of this, you will use int I. Int I already I declared again. So I is equal to 65. We know that capital A has got 65 as the ASCII code. Okay. So this is 65. Then I is less than equal to 90 till 90. I plus plus. Okay. And now what you are going to print? Okay. So you are going to print the first integer and then the character of that integer. And what you have to print I value, because we are using I. Okay, now if you will see this, okay, now this I want to get in integer also, and this I want to display as a character also. This can be done, okay, in between character and integer. So I want the other way around, okay. So now let us see the output of this. Okay, because you should know both the ways how to get it. So if you see A is 65, B is 66, C is 67. Similarly, all your keyboards, okay, the whatever characters are there, every character is having the ASCII code, okay. And 65 is A, 66 is B, 67 is C, like that. Okay, so I've shown you both the way. Now, when the comparison is done, it is done on these ASCII. Now, this is not only true for this. Even if you see in the database also, ASCII is used. Okay, if it is a string or a character. So now what I will be doing, let us write the code for the string comparison. And then you can make use of the different words. Okay. So let us check with 2, I'm using S1. Now I'm writing here by. Understand? The sound is also same. Okay, but we are not talking about the sound here. There is a different way how you will be checking, and this is by. Okay, now what? I want to compare this. Okay, so int compare is equal to string compare. Remember that this particular string compare function is going to return an integer value. Okay, either it is 0, greater than 0, or less than 0. Okay, now you will be passing S1 and S2 to this compare function. So in the CMP, there is a integer return. Okay, now you have to write the if condition. So if this comparison value is less than 0, if it is less than 0, you will print, okay, percentage S comes before percentage S slash N S1 comma S2. Okay. Similarly, I will write else if this is greater than 0. Okay. Then I will be copying this, and here I will be writing comes after. Okay, and now finally your else part will be saying that both are same. Okay, so I will write both percentage S and percentage S are same. Okay, now this first is same, so it will go to the second character to check. Okay, so wherever it is different, okay, it will check that. So now let us run this, right? And let us see the output. So this is important to understand. Okay, so I'm getting by comes after by, because U is there. Okay, and then Y is there. But since it is small letter, so let us uncomment this also, so you can see the small letter numbers as well. Okay, both I will show. Okay, so see here. Okay, so what is Y? Okay, so Y is 121 and U is 117. Okay, this is coming first and this is coming later. Now, if you are going to, have the same, let us say if I'm writing both the string as same, okay. Okay, I'm getting both are same, correct? Now, let us do one thing. Here, I'm going to write capital B. Here, I'm going to write small b. Okay, ASCII code is different. ASCII code is different. So, B comes before by. Okay, B, that is what? Capital B. Okay, this value is less than this value, correct? So, you will be getting like this. And if I'm writing this, and here I'm writing by, that is capital B. Yes, you can change the characters and see always, okay? After by now, okay? And suppose you are writing different characters. I'm writing hello, and here I'm writing word, okay? Okay, so hello comes before word. Now the first output I'm getting. So this is how the comparison is made. Please understand, ASCII is very important. when it comes to sorting the characters and the string. Okay. So I hope this is understood to everyone. Is this clear? Is this clear? The string comparison. Okay. Fine, Jyoti. Right. Now let us come to the next. Okay. See, one example I will show. What happens is that we are using here the predefined functions, okay? But sometimes you need to write the code without using this predefined function. Okay, so how you're going to write that? Anushka, what you need the explanation again? Which one you want about the string compare? Anushka, is it for string compare? See, before understanding the comparison, you need to know that every particular character has got a code. Okay. And this code is known as the ASCII code, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So capital A starts from 65 till 90. Okay. And this will start from 97, the small, right? Till 120. Now, when the comparison you need to do of the string, or if you need to sort the characters or the string in the ascending or descending order, the ASCII code is used. Okay, so here we need to compare S1 and S2. Now H is coming before the W. Okay, so first character or the first alphabet itself is different. Okay, so H will come first, then W. Okay, so you will be getting the output that this comes before the world. Okay, and if you're writing W, that is world and hello, then you will be getting that this world comes after hello. And if both are same, you will be getting both are same, because here also if you're writing hello, okay, then both will be same because both are capital H and both ASCII are same. But in this case, if you're using the small h, then also it is going to differ because this will be coming first. Okay, and this is the higher ASCII code. Okay, so here it will differ. If it is same here, it will go to the next character. Okay, then the next character. Okay, and if it is different, you will be getting wherever the difference is there, right? So as I said, this is used in sorting also of the strings, and not only in programming, but yes, in databases also this is the same thing which is used, right? Now that we have used these functions, please understand, sometimes, okay, you need to write your own logic. Okay, so I'm not doing this for all, but let us understand how to find out the length of the string by not using the str length function. By not using the str length function. Okay. So sometimes you will get this type of the questions that you need to find out the length without using the str length function. So how you're going to do that? Simply make use of the loop. Okay. And count the characters. So let us do that. So here I will be creating one more file. Okay. And yes, you can create a different function, but I'm using the same function here. So look here, I'm not using string.h. I don't want to use that function. That is str length function. Okay. So let us first save this string length. Okay. So we are finding the length of the string. Now let us define a variable, declare a variable. So let us say I'm declaring a variable of 20 characters. Then I will be asking the user to enter a string. Okay, enter a string. Always use fgetS. Okay. Okay, then you will have the size of str and then std in. Okay. Int I is equal to 0. Okay, now look here. We have accepted the string. Okay, now we will be counting the number of characters. Very simple. Use a while loop. Okay, we had already seen this earlier in the slide. Okay, so while str is not equal to /0. Okay, so while str of I is not equal to /0, that is the null terminator. Okay, what you will be using? You will use I++. Increment the value of I so that you are incrementing the counter. Okay, now how this works? So if I'm going to enter the string, let us say HELLO. I'm going to enter this hello. Okay. Now we are going to start with I, which is 0. Okay. So obviously H is in the 0 position. Okay. Then E is in 1 position, right? This is in 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Now what comes next? So 5 is nothing but /0. This we know. This is how you will be having the string written. Okay. Now, while str of I is not equal to /0, till it is not coming to this. Okay, what is the value of I? It is 0. Okay, so in 0, there is H available. Okay, so I++. So what is the value of I now? It has become 1. That means 1 character is there. Then again, this, then I++ again increment. Okay. This is 1. So this will be becoming 2. Then it will become 3 till it is reaching /0. So this has incremented anyways. Okay. So when it is reaching /0, it will not increment. So this itself will give you the total length. Okay. So now after this, I will simply print F this statement. Length of %s is %d. Okay. String and then I. Fine. So this is just something which I will comment, but otherwise you will get an error in the code. Okay. So this is what string length. Okay. So let us compile this. Okay. So enter a string. So let us say if I'm going to type hello. Okay. Now I'm getting this enter here. Okay. So I will simply or you can only print length in a different statement because we are using fgetS. Okay, that is the reason, because it is using a new line. Okay, so length of hello is 6. Now I am getting that because we are using enter. So if you are using, and this /0 is also there. Okay, let me give a space. If you are using scanf, then space will not be calculated. Okay, so let me write now hello user. Okay, so space is also calculated. So if you are using scanf, then it will not be done. Okay, if you are using scanf, that will not be done, right? So this way also you can do it, correct? You should know both the ways. Okay, you should know both the ways. Okay, so this was about the string and the string functions. Okay, so till here, then we will start with the functions. Okay, as we want to start with the functions today, a very small chapter. Okay, the codes is very simple. Just you have to use the functions, like the predefined functions are available. We will be creating now our own functions. Okay, so what is a function? A function is a block of code that performs a specific task and can be called from other parts of the program. Okay, other parts of the program. What is a function declaration? Okay, now this is also known as a prototype. It tells the compiler about the function name, return type, and parameters before its use. Okay, now when you create a function, that function can return a value, that function can take the parameters, which we already did. Understand? Like in this case, okay, this str length is taking the parameter of a string, one parameter. This is taking two parameters. Okay, strcat is also taking two parameters. String compare is taking two parameters and it is returning an integer. Okay, so there is a return value. So when you want to create your own functions, you need to declare the prototype. That means what will be the return type, what is the name of the function, and what is the parameter that function will be taking. Okay. Now, the definition of the function means what you are writing inside that function. That is known as a definition. Like in all the programs, what function we are using? Main function. So whatever we are writing in the main, that is what is the function definition. We are defining the function, what that function contains. Okay. So similarly, it holds true for the other user defined function. So till now, we have used the functions which are already available. Okay. Like main function that has to be written. Okay. Then we are using printf function, we are using fgetS, we are using scanf. Okay, all these are already available in this stdio.h. Your string functions are available in string.h. Okay, but now we will create our own functions. Till now we have not created that, so we need to provide the actual logic of the function. Okay, and then we can call that particular functions. Okay, Anushka, what questions? Okay. See, I have generally told about like, okay, this is not about the questions here, but later, okay. Let us say you will face an interview, or you need to give, okay, or you need to write some code in some exams. Okay. So if it specifically it is written that, okay, you need to, calculate the length without using the str length function. Okay. Then how you will be doing it? Okay. Such type of questions will be there. I'm generally talking about. Okay. So you should know the other way also, because that actually checks the logic. Okay. That actually checks the logic. Correct? So don't worry about that as of now. But later on, once you go on practicing, yes, you have to practice. Correct? Fine. So let us understand how to write a function, how to call a function. Okay. So what we are going to do now, I will be now creating the day 8. Okay. This is day 8. And we will start writing the code in the day 8 folder. So hash include. See, stdio is required because we need to make use of printer scanf. Okay, that is to be there. So I will be creating now day 8. Okay, and here I will be creating the file. So this is the function. Okay, demo.c. Okay, So now the first thing is we need to declare the function. So first is the function declaration. Okay. And I'm writing here void greet. Now what is this? This is nothing but the function we are declaring, that this function we will be creating later on. What is the return type? Void. Void means this function is not returning anything. Okay. Then in the main, see, main is important. Please understand, main is important function to be written. Okay. Then I will be calling the greet function from the main. So this is known as the function call. This is known as the function call. Okay. And main function is returning 0. Why? Because this function is returning int. So we need to return 0 to tell the compiler about the successful execution and termination. Okay. Now coming to your function definition of greet. Function definition. Definition means you are now providing the actual body of the function, what is written in the function. Okay. So I will be using void greet. Now that is the function what we have created earlier. And here we are going to write the printf. Okay. So because this is only a greet function written, so I will write welcome to C programming. Okay, welcome to C programming. So this is what is the function. That's it. Okay. So this is a function declaration. You just declare the function. And this is the function definition, that what is the actual body of the function. And you need to call the functions from the main. You can create as many functions. You go on calling the functions. Okay. So let us now run this. Okay. So CD day 8 I will be taking. Okay. So function demo. Okay. So I should be getting hello, welcome to C programming. Correct. If you are not using the function declaration, this is known as a prototype. Okay. This is known as a prototype. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Now what you are getting, please understand this. This is conflicting types for greet. Previous implicit declaration of greet was here. Okay. You have not declared that you will be using this function after the main. So here we are getting the error. Now, if I am writing this function above the main, okay, above the main, then there is no error. Please understand this now. Okay. If you are defining a function after the main, then you have to declare the function prototype. But if you are defining a function, defining means with the actual body, before the main, then the function prototype is not required. Okay, there is a difference. Okay, so if you are writing this after the main, then function prototype is required. You need to define the function. You need to declare the function. Okay, so this is the difference. So understand, if you are getting again a code which is written, okay, like that, so you should know whether it will compile or it will not get compiled. Okay, so before main you don't have to declare, but after main you have to declare. Okay, this is what is a function prototype. Then we have got the function parameters and return type. Now let us create a function which is taking a parameter. Okay. Functions can receive data from the caller using parameters, or you can directly pass the argument values. A function can return a value using the return statement. Okay. The type of the returned value specified in the return function type. Okay. So let us write this function. So I'm creating a new file. Okay. So let us use the hash include stdio.h. Okay. And I'm going to save this file as the function parameter. Okay. So that it is understood that this is a program which is taking a parameter. Okay. Now I can use any way. Okay. So function with the parameters. Okay. Function with parameters. So I'm writing void add. Okay. This is not returning any value. So void add int a comma int b. Okay. What is this? Int a, int b are the two parameters we are passing, like the one we had just used in the string functions. So what I need to do is I need to add, okay, so int sum is equal to a plus b. Okay, and then printf sum is equal to percentage d. Now see, any operations, whatever we have done, the same thing we are doing here. Only the thing is we are writing this in a function. Okay. I have defined the function first and then I'm writing the main. So there is no need for the declaration or the prototype of the function. Okay. This is required. I will be taking the values from the user. Okay. So this is int a, int b. Then printf. Okay. So I'm asking the user to enter two integer numbers. Okay. We will take it using the scanf. Use the percentage d space percentage d address of a, sorry, small, and address of small b. Now you have to call this add function, and this add function is taking the two values. Okay, so first value will be a and second value will be b. See, not necessary that your variables must be same. Okay, that can be different over there. Okay, so this is the passing arguments. Okay, to function add. Okay, and then this is a main function which is returning an integer. So we are returning 0. Okay, now this function is not returning any value. This function is not returning any value. Okay, but we are printing the output in this function itself. Okay, so we have written printf sum is equal to sum. Correct. Now let us compile this. This is the function parameters. Okay. I think this is something missing here in line number 12. So let us check. Oh, so you don't have to write int again, huh? Because it is on the same line. So just write int comma b. If you are writing in separate line, then you will define int. Okay. Now we will add two integer numbers. Okay. So let us add the value 2 and 5. Okay. So I'm getting sum is equal to 7. So whenever you are writing a program, till now we have written everything in the main function, but you need to make the program modular by creating the different functions which are doing some specific task. Don't write everything in the main function. Okay, so if your program needs to have some different, the tasks to be done or different functionalities, okay, then it is always better to create the functions and call that functions from the main. Okay, that has to be done. Now, let us understand the return value. Okay, so in the same program, I will be writing that. Now, the add function is calculating the sum and it is giving the output in that function only. But let us say I'm creating a multiply function. Okay, this multiply function is taking the same parameter, but now it will return x into y. That means the calculated value is returned from that function. Till now, what we have done, whenever we are using this int main, we are writing return 0 to tell the compiler about the successful execution, and it will terminate successfully. Okay, but this is the user defined function. This is the function which we created, and I want to return the multiplication result from this function. So I will write return only if this is returning some particular type. What type it is returning? It is returning integer type. Okay, if you are using here void, then you cannot write return. Void means this function is not returning anything. So if it is void, you cannot write return. This function is returning an integer. Okay, x and y are integer, multiplication is integer, it will return integer. If this is returning float, then that means it should return a float value. Okay, depend on the type. So here we are returning the integer. Okay, now when you are going to call that, okay, so let us say after this we will have one slash n, then I will call that multiply function, multiply, and the same a and b I'm going to pass. Correct. So this a value will be passed on to x, this b value will be passed on to y, x into y, the value will be returned from this function. So that returned value I need to take somewhere. So I will take it into the result variable. Okay, so this multiply function is returning the result that I will be taking in the result variable, and this I will now display. Okay, printf. So multiplication is equal to, or multiplication result is equal to %d. Okay, and what is that result? Understand? So this is how, okay, this is calling function with returning value. Okay, so that the returning value is taken into this result variable. Okay, now let us see whether we are getting the result of addition and subtraction both. Okay, because one is not returning the value, another is returning the value. So let us run this again. Okay, I'm going to give two integers. Okay, so look here. So I'm getting sum is equal to 30. Okay, and I'm getting multiplication result is equal to 200. See here. Okay, because we are getting the value from here. Now, if I'm going to write a void, okay, that means it is not returning anything. You will get an error. Okay, because we are using return statement and we have written a void here. Okay. And let us say if I'm writing here int and I'm not returning a value. Okay. You have to check both the ways. What will happen in this case? Multiplication result is what I'm getting is only 10. Okay. That is the first value. See, I'm not getting the result. Okay. So I'm only getting 10. Because here we have written int, but we are not returning anything. So like we are writing int main, but even if you are not returning 0, it will not give an error. Okay. So the way is that if you have to return some value, you better write it down. Okay. So that you are getting the correct output. Fine. Is this clear, everyone? Which program starting? Vinutha. Which program starting? Which code? Function parameters? This is the starting, right? This is the starting. See here. We have declared this, we have defined this add function and then multiply function. Okay, add and multiply this function. Add is going to calculate the sum and it will display it here only, but multiply will return the calculated value. Okay, and we are taking that result in the result variable. And here we don't have to take any result variable output because output is given here itself. Is this clear? Vinutna, is this clear? You can see the program now. Complete program. Okay. You can note down if you want. Anyways, I'll be sharing this. Okay. Let us come to the next now. So we have done with the function parameters and return type. Now, very important, the program or the concept is pass by, call by value or call by a reference. Arpita, no, today no test. Okay. So call by value and call by reference. Okay. Now this is a very important, the topic, whether you talk about C or C++, very important concept that how the values are passed. Okay. When you are using call by value, a copy of the variable is passed to the function. Changes inside the function do not affect the original variable. But when you are using call by reference, the address of the variable is passed using pointers. Changes inside the function affect the original variable. Okay. So let us understand this. Okay. So call by value and call by reference. So we'll understand this by the program. So I'll create another file. Okay. And let us save this file as call by value and reference.c. Okay. So both I'm going to write it down here. So let us create a modify function which is taking the parameter int x. Okay. Here I'm simply going to use x plus plus. Okay, understand, anything you can do. You can add 10 to x, you can add something else. I'm just adding 1 to x. Okay. So this is going to modify. Okay, so only modify local copy of the variable. Printf, I will give the output of this x. Okay. So x is equal to %d and give the value of x, right? Now we will create a main method. See, understand, very simple this is. What we have done, I created a function modify, which is taking one integer x, and this x variable, whatever value we are going to pass, will be modified. Okay, will be modified means it is going to add 1 to the number. Okay. Now in the main, I'm having another variable, let us say 5. And I will call the modify A. Okay, I'll call the modify A. Right. Now let us print this value. So printf, I'll display the value of A. Okay, and here I'll be writing A. That's it. And this is a main function, returns. Okay, now understand what is pass by or call by value. This is call by value. Okay. So what happened is, if you declare a variable A, understand A is some memory location. Okay, let us assume. Okay. So assume 1001 is the memory address. Okay, for A. Understood? So this is the memory address for the variable A, correct? So A value is 5. That means in this memory address, the value 5 is stored, correct? Now, when you are going to pass this A value to X, let us say, assume X, okay, has got 1002, okay, memory address, okay, is the memory address, okay, for X, because this is a different variable. Okay, so memory address are different. So when you are calling a function like this, means you are passing the value. Okay, call by value. So this value is going to pass. So 1001 memory address will have 5, but 1002 memory address will be modified. And not this A will be modified. Okay, so only this is going to modify what? The X. Okay, so the value in this particular memory address will be 5 only, and the value of this memory address is going to be 6 because you're modifying this 6. Okay, please understand this. Again, I will be opening a paint application. Okay, so let us say that if I'm having the memory address and this is the memory address. Okay, so this is nothing but this is A. Okay, this is A and this is X. Okay, this is X. Now A has got the memory address as 1001 and this X has got the memory address as 1002. Okay, what is the value in A? The value in A is 5 and we are passing this value to X. Okay, but in X what we have written? We have written plus plus. So this value is going to be 6, but this original value is going to be 5 only. This is pass by value. So in pass by value, the original value is not going to change. That is going to be same. The target where we are passing, that is going to change. Okay, because the memory address is different for the variables. And whenever you create any particular parameter, okay, this is always local to the function. Means you cannot access this x outside the function, because whenever you are having the parameter returned to a function, that is always local to that function. That is not global. You cannot access this x outside the function. Okay. So let us now run this. So we will have the call by value. Okay. And reference. Look here. What is the value of x? X value is 6. So x is modified, but a ka value is 5 only. So original value is not changing. Okay. So here, no change in the original value. Okay. There is no change in the original value, and this will modify only the local copy. Okay. That means only x is modified. Okay, only x is modified. So this is what is pass by value. Understood everyone till here? Is this clear? Yesterday's study material. Arpita, yesterday study material is uploaded. If not today, I will upload. There will be some programs that are maybe not uploaded. Okay. So it will get uploaded today along with this. Okay. Okay, Jyoti, understood. Good. Now let us see what is passed by reference. Okay. That is call by reference. So I will create another method here. Okay, now let us copy this. So actually I will do one thing, modify, okay, underscore value I will write, because I'm using the same function. And here I will create a function, modify underscore ref. Okay. So here I will write int star x. Okay. Now star actually refer to what? Okay, so I will write here. This is known as a D reference. D reference it is a D reference operator. Okay, here it is known as a D reference operator to access or modify the value. Okay, or modify the value. So dereference operator to access or modify the value. Now, what will be done? Okay, so let us say that here I'm going to write, okay, this is going to change the original value also. Changes original value. Okay, fine. And now, when you are calling the modify ref, you have to pass the address of A. You have to pass the address of A. So this is called by reference. This is called by reference. Okay. And you can print the value. Okay. So only one we will be calling as of now. Otherwise, what will happen? You will have the same value passed here. So let me just call this, and then I will print the value. Okay. Here. So I will write original value changed. Okay. Original value changed. And here we will have one printf statement written. So instead of creating the different programs, it's better to write in the same program. Okay. So whenever you have to use the reference, you are using this pointer. star, this is known as a dereference operator here. So that means what? Okay, please understand, that means what? Okay, so if you now see 1001 is the address. Okay, so what we are actually passing, we are passing the address. Okay, so what we are doing, we are calling the modify function and we are passing address of A. Address of A. Okay, and pointer means the value in that particular address. Correct. So when we are passing the address, that means now this A and X actually both are pointing to the same address. Both are pointing to the same address. So this 5 value is going to be modified in both the places because both are now pointing to the same address. Okay, so like a person has got two different names. So the memory location is now referred by two different names, A and X, but it is the same memory location which is getting modified. Okay, so now let us see the output in that case. Okay, so I will be calling now both the functions. So let us write. So call by value, I need to comment this part, right? Because it is not a part of your program. Now let us check the output. Okay. Write star X. Okay, because whenever you want the value of that, you have to write star pointer. Okay, this will give the value of that address. So let us check now. Okay. Just wait. So we have returned the int star X. This is correct. Okay. Modify ref only we are calling, right? This is correct. So star X, X is equal to percentage B, and we will print this. And here we are using modify ref. Okay, and we are passing the address of A. Okay, let me just comment this part as of now, and let me check only this modify ref. Okay. We should get the actual value. A is 5. We should not get A is 5. Okay. A should be changed here. Let me write something else to check. Okay, let me check now because now I'm not calling the previous function. Yeah, now I'm getting the value as 15. Okay, this is correct because that plus plus operator not working on the pointer. So we were not getting the actual address. Now actual value. So if you will see X value is 15 Okay, we are passing what? 5. So 5 plus 10. So x is also 15 and this a is also 15. Okay. Now let me call both. Okay. Right. Now this is working. Okay. So we have got x is equal to 6 in the first case. A will be not changed. But when you are passing by reference, both will be changing because both are pointing to the same memory address. Both are pointing to the same memory address. Okay. So this is pass by value and pass by reference. Very important concept. Then next we have got the recursion. Okay, we have got the recursion. What is recursion? Recursion is the process of calling a function by itself. Okay. And the function which call itself is called a recursive function. This is used, okay, in lot of the you can say the operations, okay, like finding the factorial of a number, then to generate the Fibonacci series, okay, this is used, right? So let us understand how this recursive function is working. Recursion is used to solve various mathematical problems by dividing it into smaller problems. So this method of solving a problem is called divide and conquer. Remember, yesterday we did the algorithm of searching, okay, the strategy which is used in divide and conquer, okay. So that is nothing but dividing the list by 2, okay, and then again you will be dividing the list by 2 and then you will be searching. Okay, the same is followed here as well. Okay, Arpita, okay. Okay, which program starting you want? Vinutna, the first recursive program. Okay, see here, this is the recursive program. Okay. Done? Have you seen that? Okay. So what is the recursion? Okay, so the same function is called, correct? So if you have written a recursive function, okay, there are some statements written. Now, depending on the condition, if the condition is true, again, the same function will be called. So this will be going on called till the condition become false. Okay, so whatever is the output of the or the remaining statements that will execute. Okay, so we will do two programs, okay, which are based on this. So one is the factorial of a number, another is finding the Fibonacci number. Okay, so let us now see, if you want, you can also use a switch case and you can, find this particular number. Okay, because in switch case you can call the functions, right? So let us do one thing. So I will create in one file only so that all your concepts will be understood here. Okay. So we will have the name as recursive functions.c. Okay. So what I'm going to do, first of all, now let us come back to our first example. So I'm going to have the function declarations. Okay. Fine. So first we will have the factorial. Then we will find the Fibonacci series. Okay. We'll create the main. So two functions. I'm going to make use of a switch case and we will call the functions. Okay. So let us have a choice. Okay. So printf. Okay. So I'm just going to give here the recursive function app. Okay. So one will be factorial /n, two will be Fibonacci series, okay, /n, three will be exit. Okay, so you can have anything written, okay, if you want. So let us create this. Okay, so there are some Stuti, after this, I will be explaining. Okay, yesterday's quiz question. Okay, I know. So we'll do that as well. Okay. So printf, enter choice. Okay, so I'm asking the user to enter the choice. Scanf. Okay, we will be taking the choice in the choice variable. Okay. Now we will call a switch statement. Okay. Switch choice. Okay. So we have got the case one. So I'll create a function as Fibo. Sorry, that is a factorial now. So we have written fact. Okay, and then we will have break. Okay, case two. Okay, we have got what Fibo. Okay, and break. Okay, and case three is nothing but exit. Okay, so here we are simply going to write printf exiting. Okay, and then we will have the default, and then we will have right here as the invalid choice. Okay, invalid choice. Fine. Now we need to create this factor function, which I have written over here. Okay, so let us create a factorial. And then we will also create the Fibo. Okay, because these are the recursive functions. So I need to create this. Let us see the output. Okay. Okay, so let us write here some printf statement. So I simply want to write the fact. Okay, and here I simply want to write the Fibo. We are just checking, okay? And this is the main function, okay? Yes, you can include this in a do while loop if you want. Okay, I'm not including that. This is the recursive functions.c. Okay. So this is void. Okay. You can include this in the. Okay, so we have got one is the factorial, right? So I'm getting that fact. Two is the Fibo, and three is nothing but exiting. Okay. So let me just write here /n so that I'm getting that option correctly. Now let us write the factorial. Okay. So int num, printf, enter number to find the factorial. Okay. So I'm asking the user to enter a number. Scanf %d address of the. Okay. Now you can call another function from here. Okay, that is possible. But I'm going to simply write if no, let us give a printf statement and I will also call another function. Okay, that will be better to understand instead of writing it here only. So factorial of %d is equal to %d /n. Okay, num. Now look here. So factorial function I am going to create, which will be taking the value of this particular num. Okay, this value of num. So I will be creating now a factorial function. Okay, see, I'm creating the factorial function here. Okay, so this is a recursive function. So I'm using in this everything. Okay, your function declarations also, the functions without the declaration as well. So int factorial, which will take the integer. So we are passing that. Okay, multiple functions I'm calling, functions from within the function. So if n equal to 0, we will return 1. That means you will not have the factorial of 0. It will be only 1. Okay. So this becomes the base condition. If n is 0, the factorial is 1. Okay. Else. Now return n into, again you call the factorial. Okay, n minus 1. So this is a recursive call. This is a recursive call. Okay, see here. So you need to find out the factorial of a number. So here, if it is 0, it will be returning 1. Else, n into, again call the factorial by passing n minus 1. Okay, so what it is? If you're passing 5, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, like that. Okay. So this is going to call the same function again and again. Okay, again and again. So this is a recursive function. Let us check whether we will be getting the output. So it is returning an int. Okay, that means directly I will be getting the value of the result here. Okay, this is going to return me the what? Factorial number. Okay, so you don't have to take the return value in a variable. Directly you can call the function from here also. So understand, okay, here a lot of functions I'm using, okay, by using the different ways. So please understand that, okay. Okay, so I will be now using the factorial. So 1. Okay, enter number to find the factorial of that number. So let us see if I'm going to give only 3. Okay, so factorial of 3 is equal to 6. 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. If I'm going to use, let us say 5, so it is 120. Okay, if I'm going to give 0, it will be returning. Oh, sorry. It should be 1. And if I'm going to give 0, it should be returned 1. That is the base condition. Okay, we are returning 1, correct? So this is how you will be calling the function. So this function, okay, are declared because this function I will be calling after the main. But the factorial function I have defined before the main. So the prototype is not created. Okay, so everything is included in this. Okay, you have switch case also, and in switch case we are calling the functions. Okay, now another is your Fibo. Okay, Fibonacci series, right? So now let us understand how to write this. Again, it is the same thing. Okay, so what I will be doing, let us create the terms. Okay, so printf enter number of terms, means how many numbers should be there in the Fibonacci series. Then scanf, okay, %d, address of terms, printf. Okay, so I'm just going to write okay. Now look here. Again, another thing you will understand here. I am going to call the function from within the loop. Okay, from within the loop. Okay. So for int I equal to 0, I is less than. If you want, I can give this I here. Okay, so let me have the I declared here so that you don't have to compile this with the standard C99 option. Okay, so I equal to 0. Then I is less than terms. Okay, it will start from 0 till terms. I plus plus. Okay, now within this for loop, I will print the numbers. Okay, but that numbers I will be getting from a function. So I will be creating this Fibonacci function by passing the value I. Okay, understand? Functions can be called from anywhere. Okay, we are calling the function from the switch case. We are calling the function from the printf directly so that I'm directly getting the output here. I'm calling the function from the for loop so that this function will return me the output directly here, which will be formatted as an integer number. So when you are calling the functions directly in the printf, that means these functions must return a value. Okay, so here I will be creating that function. Okay, so please understand, okay, that the flow, okay, how the flow of these functions will be. So now again, this is the recursive function. Okay, so int Fibonacci, this is what I created, which will be taking the terms. Okay, and if n equal to 0, we will return 0. Okay, that means if I am giving the terms as 0, if I'm giving the terms as 0, okay, then it will be 0 only. So I is 0, sorry. Okay, if I is 0. Then let us write here else if, okay, else if n equal to 1, return 1. If it is 0, it should return 0. If it is 1, it should return 1. Else if it is not 0, if it is not 1, you will call this function, the same function again. Okay, same function again, but by passing n minus 1 plus, you can have a different logic written here, n minus 2. Okay. So let us check it out. Okay, let us go to 2. Okay, now let us see. I'm going to give 0. It is 0 only. Okay, it will not give any particular series. If I'm giving 2 and I'm giving 1. Okay, if it is A, let me give 5. Okay. Oh, sorry. 2. Okay, and I'm giving 5. No, this is not correct. I'm doing some. Just wait a minute. No, this is correct. I is equal to 0, I is less than terms. Okay, I'm taking in terms. And I plus plus, this is also correct. Okay. Then I'm using the percentage D. I'm passing the value of I. Okay. Every time. Okay, let me compile this once again. So I'm going for second. Okay, I think I'm calling this correct function in the second. So if I'm going to give 5. Because the recursive step is correct. Okay. Recursive step is, I'll just write it down here. This is function of n. Okay, is equal to function of n minus 1 plus n minus 2. Okay. Okay, I'll check on this because I think this is the correct only, but I need to check this once again. Okay, because the code here is correct. Terms also I'm taking correctly. Okay, and we are calling this function. Okay, I'm not returning the value. That is the only problem. See, that is why I was thinking why we are not getting this. Okay, we are not returning the value. So let me check now. So if I'm going to give 2 and if I'm giving 5, okay, so now I'm getting it. Okay, so 0, 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, like that. Okay. So if I'm, so I was not returning the value. That was the only problem. So if I'm going to give 10, I'll be getting the series like that. 0 and 1 first. Then 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, like this. Okay. So this is nothing but the Fibonacci series. So both these functions are the recursive functions. Okay. Both these functions are the recursive function. Okay. Fine. So this completes your function topic today. Okay. So later on, you need to make use of the functions. Okay. Make use of the functions whenever you need to perform a task and call the function from the main function, right? Okay. Yesterday, Arpita, you were having a query. Okay. So let us first take that. So the quiz, okay, if not possible today, tomorrow we will discuss the quiz. Okay. So Arpita, you asked about what is an Armstrong number. Okay. So Armstrong number, which is also known as this narcissistic number, for a given number of digits is an integer such that the sum of its own digits, each raised to the power of the number of digits, is equal to the number itself. Okay. So here this is given. So one digit Armstrong number from 0 to 9, 3-digit Armstrong number. Okay, so if you are going to calculate this, okay, like one, okay, here it is given. See here. Here, this is a flowchart given, okay, for the Armstrong number. Okay, please understand why this 153 is an Armstrong number, okay? If you are, I will just write it down here, okay? Or I can create a new file, okay? If you are going to use this 153 number, okay? If you are going to use 1 raised to 3, see it is raised to 3, 1 raised to 3, okay? Plus 5 raised to 3, okay? 5 raised to 3, okay? Plus 3 raised to 3. Okay, so this will be 1 plus, okay, 1 plus 125 plus 27, which is nothing but 153. So understand what is an Armstrong number? If you are now using 1 raised to 3 plus 5 raised to 3 plus 3 raised to 3, okay? If you add that, you are getting the same number. That is nothing but the Armstrong number. Okay, so it is written here. Is an integer such that the sum of its own digit, each raised to the power of the number of digits, 3, because 153 is 3 digit. So every number, if you are raised to the power of 3 here, then it will equal to that number itself. That is an Armstrong number. Okay, so here the examples are given. Okay, 2 raised to 1 is 1, 3 raised to 1 is 1. Okay, because it is 1 digit. This is 3 digit. So 3 raised to 3 plus 7 raised to 3. Okay, that will give you the same number. Similarly, this is a 4 digit Armstrong number. Okay, so 1 raised to 4 plus 6 raised to 4 plus 3 raised to 4 plus 4 raised to 4, like that. So when you are raising each number to the digits of that number, it equals to the number itself. That is the Armstrong number. So here what we are going to do, okay, if you want to find out that, you have to use this particular logic. Okay, so you will read the number, okay, while number is not equal to 0, okay, then within the while loop you will have this particular logic written. You have to perform the modulus by 10 on the number. Then whatever is the remainder, you will be adding that to the sum. So sum plus is equal to remainder into remainder into remainder, and divide by is equal to 10. Okay. So this will go on till the condition is false. So if you have asked for the algorithm, okay. So start, input the number, whatever number is there, okay. So n is the number. Initialize sum is equal to 0 and temp is equal to num. Okay, so you need to have a sum, you need to have a temp variable also. Count the number of digits in num and store in it. Okay, how many digits are there? You have to count that. Okay, so to count that, you are using the while loop. So while temp is not equal to 0, you will go on incrementing the number, that is n plus plus, then you will divide that number by 10. Okay, so temp is equal to temp divided by 10. So this will give you the total count of the number. Okay, so repeat until temp is not equal to 0. Extract the last digit. Understand the first function we have done. Okay, this, like finding out the total number of digits. The same logic is written here. Okay, so digit is equal to temp divided by 10. Add digit. Okay, raised to n to sum, remove the last digit. See, this is, okay, initially we did this particular program. You will get this to find out the number of digits in the digits given. Okay, then compare sum with the num. So if equal, print Armstrong number, else print not an Armstrong number. Okay, then you need to calculate also, and then you can print that, right? So this is nothing but the algorithm. So tomorrow we will write the program also on this. Okay, using a function, we will write a program for the Armstrong number. Okay, and then we will start with the new topic, that is a pointer, and also we will discuss the quiz questions. Okay, is this clear, everyone? So the assignment for this will be given tomorrow along with the pointers. Okay, but I'll be sharing this file, okay, so that it is uploaded in the LMS. Okay, whatever we have completed today, right? Okay, fine, Arpita. Okay, so tomorrow we will do that algorithm and we will write the code for that. Prakash, the f get s function, okay, you will use in the string because it will read the space also. That is the actually that is the efficient way to take the input from the user. Okay, don't use scanf or the other function. But fgetS is what you are supposed to use, because it is going to read the space also, and it will limit the size also. Okay, because it is also calculating the size. Okay, so don't use the scanf if you are making use of the string. Amar, you can share the attendance link.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So we will continue this tomorrow. So one is nothing but our Armstrong, okay, that we will be doing, Arpita, that we will be writing the code. Then we will discuss the quiz question, and then we will start with the important topic, that is pointers, okay. And I will be sharing this code, Aman. After some time, so you can upload this, okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.